access. And sometimes with like the bigger videos, like for instance Britney Spears, I will drop that video on Patreon and they get to watch it whenever they want without ads. So that's actually a perk I've been doing, I think maybe for the last month or two. So, but in today's video, we will be doing a celebrity gossip. There are four stories that I will be covering today. Number one will be Pee Wee Herman. Number two will be Angus Cloud. Number three will be Cardi B. And number four, Miss Lizzo. So let's get to. As I'm recording this video, my nephew just informed me that we have actually hit 9K subscribers. I am truly excited for that. This second channel is moving and I love it. But I do want to thank everyone who has been rocking with me, especially from my first channel. You saw it come and go, and I decided to do another channel, try again, and here we are, 9K later. I don't know what else to say, but thank you. And here's to 9,000 more. So, but our first story I want to talk about is Pee Wee Herman. Now, I understand that I made a community post in regards to if y'all wanted me to dive into his life. But then once I did, I decided to not do his life story for many reasons, including YouTube's guidelines. So then I also noticed that no one else on YouTube is doing it, probably because of YouTube's guidelines. And so your girl already got her first strike on her channel. Her first strike. Patreon family, I will explain in this Sunday's video. Yeah, so because of my first strike, I decided I'm not doing his story, but I will talk about him. So I just want to say though that Pee Wee Herman, he was fuck it, he wasn't for me. I tried to figure out a better way of saying it, but he just wasn't for me, in my opinion. He just wasn't my type of comedian or comic, or it just wasn't for me. I am entitled to my opinion, but Pee Wee Herman was just not for me. I did know who he was. I have watched both movies, and I think it's just something that everyone should experience. I mean, because at the end of the day, he did make a dent in this world and in the, movie industry. But, I just wasn't with his laugh and his high pitched voice. It just wasn't for me. But that does not mean he was not successful in what he did. So, by the way, before we start that, I do want to say that Pee Wee Herman did have some famous catch phrases that we should talk about. The first one is, I know you are, but what am I? 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 That was Pee Wee Herman. Another one, I don't make monkeys. I just train them. That was another one. And then the next one, that's my name. Don't wear it out. And the last one, it really wasn't his catchphrase, but I always remember this one line from the movie. You don't want to get mixed up with a guy like me. I'm a loner, a rebel. I don't know why that line sticks out with me, but it does. There is another scene from the movie, and I don't know which one it was because he did do two, and I've only watched each movie just once. There's no way I can watch those two movies again. But one of them, he was hitchhiking or something, and a truck driver, I do believe it was a female truck driver, that picked him up, and then she started telling him like a ghost story or something. I don't know, and at the end her eyes was like, tell so and so I said hello, and her eyes went. I don't know why that sticks in my mind, but it does. There are certain scenes from Pee Wee Herman's movies that does stick out, but I couldn't tell you if it was the first one, second one. Hell, I didn't even know. I didn't even know this man had a TV show. I did not. So Pee Wee Herman, his real name is Paul Rubens. The comedic actor best known for playing Pee Wee Herman has died after a private battle with cancer. He died Sunday night, which would have been July 30th. Playhouse TV show was a big hit with adults. That's like saying Blue's Clues is a big hit for adults. Like, no, like, I think Blue's Clues is the best comparison I can have with the Pee Wee Herman show, just from looking at the stage, because truth be told, I never knew he had a TV show. But yesterday, just glancing, it reminds me so much of Blue's Clues. So if you know what Blue's Clues is because of your children, that's kind of like what Pee Wee Herman was about, but with the annoying voice. So it being a big hit with adults, I don't know about that, but it is what it is. He also brought the character to the big screen with the film Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which was a huge commercial success. Now, what does that mean? A huge commercial success. Does that mean it wasn't a worldwide success? Because I did read that this movie brought in $40 million back in the 80s or early 90s. I want to say late 80s. So that was big money back then. His second movie did not do as well, but it still did good, but not as well as the first one. I think the first movie, though, if I'm not mistaken, that's when his red bike was stolen or something, and he was on the hunt to find out who stole his bike. I don't even know. It was not even the first one. Hell if I know. The movie featured a scene with Pee-wee dancing to the 1958 hit song Tequila by the Champs. The character and the dance were so beloved, you can't hear that song without thinking of Pee Wee Herman. That I will give credit to. So there's a scene that he gets on the bar and he has on white shoes, but they're like heel shoes or stiletto shoes or platform shoes or something. And he sits there and does like the Pee Wee Herman dance or something to that song Tequila, that I can say is definitely linked to Pee Wee Herman. And they're right, I cannot not hear that song Tequila without thinking about Pee Wee Herman. I never even thought of it that way, but it's true. So while Pee Wee Herman is his most iconic role, Paul had been doing live comedy routines long before that. In addition to his time in the Groundlings, he made 14 appearances on The Gong Show back in the 70s. He'd also done a ton of acting unrelated to Pee Wee Herman. So I did read that at one point, all his interviews he was doing as Pee Wee Herman, but I guess as his scandals and stuff were coming public, he decided to try to detach that Pee Wee Herman character from himself, and so he started doing real roles. He had roles in movies like Blow. Has anyone remember that movie Blow or watched it? I do believe, is that the one with Brad Pitt? I need to look that up real quick. I think that, nope, I have to look it up. Sorry. That is with, I want to make sure I have my, I'm sorry, Johnny Depp. I knew it didn't sound right. Johnny Depp. I remember that. I will always remember that end scene when Johnny Depp realized he was being set up. I will always remember that scene. But anyway, Blow was really, in my eyes, a classic movie that everyone should watch. But Blow, he was in Batman Returns, was 70 years old when he passed away. Rest in peace, Paul Rubin. Next on my celebrity list, it's with my heavy heart to mention Angus Cloud, Euphoria star, dead at 25. 911 call for a possible overdose. And I'm actually reading this article off TMZ. And you know, TMZ is about it and usually does not put out anything without confirming it first. And if they did, they will always let us know their mistakes. But Angus Cloud died on July 31st, which would have been on Monday. At 3:30, we learned that Oakland PD and fire department responded to a 911 call made around 11:30 a.m. on Monday by Angus Cloud's mother. She reported a possible overdose and said Angus did not have a pulse. He was eventually pronounced dead on the scene. A source close to the family tells us Angus had been battling severe suicidal thoughts after getting back from Ireland, where they laid his father to rest. We're told he was staying with his family as he tried to work through overcoming the grief. Now it goes on to say, Angus Cloud, famous for Euphoria, has died at his family home in Oakland. You know what's fun? Well, let me continue reading this. The actor's family tells us it is with the heaviest hearts that we have to say goodbye to an incredible human today. As an artist, a friend, a brother, and a son, Angus was special to all of us in so many different ways. They continue to say, last week he buried his father and intensely struggled with this loss. The only comfort we have is knowing Angus is now reunited with his dad, who was his best friend. Angus was open about his battle with mental health, and we hope that his passing can be a reminder to others that they are not alone and should not fight this on their own in silence. Yes, mental health has become more open. People are happy or openly to talk about it. Everyone struggles with something. It is okay to ask for help, especially if you're thinking about harming yourself, harming others, or anything. It is okay to ask for help. You are not alone. Many people, including myself, deal with mental illness, so it's nothing to be embarrassed about or anything like that. We all have our struggles. I have severe depression, anxiety, PTSD, but it's how you overcome it and how you try to help yourself. But you're not alone. There's even like 800 numbers that you can call and pick up and talk to somebody. But there is hope, and no one is alone fighting mental illness. So always remember that. And if you remember nothing else, my DMs are always open. Then it goes on to say the family isn't saying anything yet about the exact nature of his death. They seem to be suggesting it had something to do with his struggle to cope with his father's passing. He was a rising star in Hollywood and will perhaps best be remembered for his breakout role in the hit HBO series from 2019 and from 2019 to 2022. He starred as Lizzo, the sometimes drug dealer, guardian angel for Zendaya's character, Rue. So if you watch Euphoria, the guy we're talking about, I guess you can say was Rue's drug dealer, but he loved her. He always looked out for her, and he did not want anything happening to her. Matter of fact, he actually won her off the drug scene. But I'm just wondering now, because at the last episode, or the season finale of Euphoria, right? We ended that Angus Cloud, his character, he had this little brother. His little brother was bouted. I mean, he was bouted. But his brother got shot at the end by cops during a shootout or something, and the little brother was killed. And I was actually looking forward to see how Angus dealt with the loss of his little brother in the next season. I do not know if they did any recordings or shootings for the new episode of Euphoria. I do not know if he will be in it or if they had deleted it. I don't know. But it's sad. It's sad. The last time TMZ actually talked to Angus was in March 2022, when he was defending his show against accusations that it glorified drug use. In his view, he felt like Euphoria only showed the brutal reality that teens and young adults are dealing with in a modern day America, and he could not have said it better himself. A lot of people struggle with shows that are real, that are showing you real life situations, and people have a problem with realness. But this show, I agree, a lot of teens are struggling in America, whether it's with their sexuality, drugs, fitting in, peer pressure, grades, being perfect, popularities, whatever. They are struggling, and I think this show broadcasts like a lot that happens in high school. And I think as, well, I'm not a parent, but as parents, I don't think we understand the depth of what these high schoolers or our teenagers are really going through. So I agree, it shows the brutal reality that teens and young adults are dealing with in modern day America. But again, he was just 25 years old. Rest in peace, Angus Cloud. I hope you and your dad are reunited. You were a shining star, and I'm sure you would have gone far in this world. But again, rest in peace, and you will be missed. Okay, so this next story, Miss Cardi B. See, here's the thing. This is why I hate watching clips on Instagram, Facebook. I was gonna say Twitter, but that would be a lie because I don't have a Twitter account anymore. But either or, the video of Cardi B was circulating, and when I first watched the video, I was like, oh hell no, I understand why Cardi B got mad. Like, wanted me on the stage. So in my mind, I was saying, damn, that's effed up. I now understand why Cardi B went ballistic. But now, as more footage and more explanation is coming with the video, my view has completely 100% changed. See, here's the thing. And I'm going to read the article real quick from TMZ, but my thoughts. If you're going to ask the crowd, because let's be real, it's been hot as fuck in certain parts of the United States. I get that. So when you're on stage and you're asking thousands of people who are just as hot as you, who are coming to see you, and you're asking a crowd to throw water at you to cool you off, there is a possibility that many might not follow your rules, right? Or let's just say, for instance, that you told people to do it right then and there. There is a possibility that people still might do it down the line. Or if you had boundaries, let's say, right, like don't wet my wig or my makeup, there is a possibility that it's not gonna go the way you want it to. So if that's the case, why would you ask the audience to throw water on you when there could have been a billion possibilities or of how this could have gone completely wrong? I don't know. Somebody help me out. But let's read the article, because Miss Cardi B is up on charges. I feel as if Cardi B is always like up on charges or suing somebody or is arguing with somebody on social media live, most likely Instagram live, but I feel as if anyway. So there's evidence Cardi B should have anticipated a fan tossing liquid on her in Las Vegas, because she actually asked the crowd to douse her with water and cool her off, just how TMZ started it. Again, when you're asking thousands of fans, even if it's hundreds of fans, thousands of fans, because I'm not really sure how many people were at this concert, but again, if you're asking people to do shit like this, you have to anticipate that something will go wrong. Additional scenes from inside Cardi's beach club performance that was in Vegas from her Saturday show, demanding the crowd to throw water on her between songs. So it wasn't like it was just for like one song or segment. It claims that she demanded the crowd to throw water on her in between songs because she was dying from the triple-digit desert temperatures, and it was 105 that day, so hydration was a must. Cardi's DJ also encouraged the crowd to hose her down, and she didn't care where they soaked her. She even bent down and directed fans towards her. You get it. So again, you have to understand that like people in concerts and in crowds, they get excited. They get excited when artists ask them to do things and they can actually participate in. So when you wish for things or ask for things, you have to be careful what you ask and wish for. Now, according to here, Cardi was very clear asking for H2O, meaning water, only to be thrown at her. It's hard to tell what was in the cup that was was probably frying their brains. So again, watch what you wish for. But then, that being said, one fan is claiming Cardi clocked her with the mic. So after this particular fan threw the water, booze, whatever at Cardi, she went completely ballistic, cursing, yelling, and then she took the microphone that she had and threw it at the person who supposedly threw the cup, booze, or water. Problem is, Cardi hit the wrong person. She hit the wrong fan. So now that fan, after she got hit with the microphone, went right to the police station that night and filed charges. So it's bad enough that Cardi's anger got the best of her, but the fact that you threw the mic and it hit the wrong person is like, Cardi. See, this is why you should get your bodyguards to do your dirty work. But even then, they still would have been sued. But like, you know what I mean? Like, if you can't take shit like that, you should have never asked. Matter of fact, you should have had a water boy behind the curtains, behind the scenes, like every 5 seconds in between your songs, like dousing you backstage. Again, you can't act hundreds or thousands of people. I can't. Am I like tripping? Anyway. And like I said, okay, so that one fan is claiming that Cardi clocked her with the mic despite not being the one who threw the drink, which can prove to be a slippery situation down the line. So, again, there's really not much else to report on this Cardi story, but it's been circulating. And like I said, at first, I was like, oh, hell yeah, that's effed up. Like, you know, again, if that was me, I would have thought somebody was booing me and wanted me off the stage. But then, like, and I was like, oh, go Cardi for that one, right? Not throwing the mic, but you know what I mean. But then more things started circulating, and I was like, wait, she asked for it. So let me know down below. Was Cardi right for it, or was she wrong? What is your inputs on this whole Cardi B situation? I would love to hear from you down below. So, our last story. The last story is about Lizzo. If this is true, it really breaks my heart. But before we get into that, has anyone actually, there's really not much to the story, but there is a clip of the singer Monica. I don't know where she was or whatever, but she was performing. And as she was performing, she happened to look out in the crowd, and a man was actually beating up. What she witnessed is a guy punching a girl in the face. And Monica actually witnessed it, and she was not having it. And after realizing that when she said something that the bodyguards or no one was doing anything about it, my girl Monica, see, Monica is hood. Monica got them vocals, baby, and she got them hits. But one thing y'all don't know is Monica is hood. She has been through a lot. She has endured a lot, and she has seen a lot. She has not had the easiest, life. But Monica is hood. She got down from that stage, baby, and she confronted that guy, like, in his face. Like one man does that, she just went off. And then finally security, but it was like Monica had to take the situation into her own hands. Like, what we're not gonna do at my concert is punch no woman in the face. She did that. But I just wanted to point that little story out. But Lizzo, 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 Lizzo. I pray this is not true, because Lizzo, in my eyes, like, stood for a lot. Body positivity, her personality, her performances. She's done things on stage that people think she couldn't do. You know, like, one thing about Lizzo might be a big girl, but let me tell you something. Her breath control during her performances, baby, what? Like, a lot of people, and if you look on YouTube, when people react to Lizzo, that's the first thing they notice is her breath control. She is singing, dancing, twerking, and she is playing that flute like it's nothing. You hear me? That being said, it still breaks my heart with this story. So, with this story, because we don't know it's true, allegedly, I'm saying right now, this story, allegedly, we don't know if it's true. We don't know. It's just speculation, allegations as of now. So, I'm gonna play both sides here. I am not taking sides, but because of what I have read, let's just get to, right? So, TMZ, once again, Lizzo is a nightmare to work for behind the scenes, at least according to 3 of her former backup dancers who are suing for what they claim were awful conditions on the job. The singer is named as the defendant in a new lawsuit that was filed by the 3 women who say they danced for Lizzo and her touring company between 2021 and spring 2023, when they claim they were either unjustly fired or forced to resign due to unbearable circumstances. Now, in docs obtained by TMZ, Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noel Rodriguez say they made it into Lizzo's orbit through her Amazon reality show Watch Out for the Big Girls and made the cut. I'm gonna stop right here because I actually watched that Amazon reality show Watch Out for the Big Girls. Lizzo was looking for dancers, and I actually watched this last year when I was on bed rest for 3-4 months after my surgery. So I watched it, and I watched it carefully, and I'm gonna be honest, I actually loved it, which is why I have a lot of input on this story. Because if it's those 3, say one of the 3 girls that were from that reality show, I definitely have an input in this story. So that's how the girls were found from the reality show, and after making the cut, they alleged they were subject to a number of CA workplace violations, several of which amounted to sexual harassment, false imprisonment, and interference with prospective economic advantage, among other claims. The accusations are being hurled in a few different directions, including some aimed at members of Lizzo's management team, but as it pertains to her specifically, she's being accused of these women of basically holding them hostage in a number of situations. Now, let's be clear. Lizzo is not an R. Kelly, right? Let's just put that shit out there. These are grown women, okay? Lizzo place and you are unhappy or uncomfortable somewhere, remove yourself from the situation. A peace of mind is better than, but I do understand in certain circumstances people just can't up and leave because of money, family, children. I understand that, but I will explain more as we go through this story. Alright, so specifically the woman cite two different instances while on the road with her in Europe earlier this year. They claim she subject them to attend nude shows in Amsterdam and Paris to the clear discomfort of her employees. Now, what did I say about us being grown? Now, I have read other articles, right? And once again, I agree with TMZ. You are grown. You did not have to go to a show in Amsterdam. You did not have to leave the hotel after Amsterdam. See, here's the thing. After any concert of Lizzo, she has this ritual or whatever that they always do an after party. They always go out. It's not mandatory. I repeat, out of everything I read, it was not mandatory for you to go. So if you went to this strip club or whatever and you felt uncomfortable, bitch, leave. I don't understand. Like, again, I'm not saying the girls are lying. I am not. But I'm telling you like this. If I'm going out after a show or after work or something, because it has happened to me, and I'm in an environment that I'm not comfortable with, I leave. It's after hours. I'm not on the clock. I leave. You did not have to stay if you were uncomfortable, right? So, during the Amsterdam outing, they claim Lizzo goaded her dancers to touch the new performers on stage and interact with them in a very vulgar, inexplicable way. Now, again, you never do anything that you're uncomfortable, you're not comfortable doing. That being said, though, if you watch anything of Lizzo, whether it's her award shows, her social media, even like down to things she wears, like she's very provocative in like her outfits. Like y'all seen what she wore to the Lakers game. Girl. But like even down to some of her fashion choices, she has never been one to hold her tongue. All I'm saying is it's like, the package of Lizzo. So if you were that like conservative, or you had a certain religion, or you were shy about something, Lizzo wouldn't be the person I would work with. You know what I mean? So, like, her going to a strip club and having her dancers go up, I 100% see that. And even after watching her reality show on Amazon, it's clear that's how she was. Like, she was the party. She was always a party. She brought the party. Just off that reality show, that's just who Lizzo is. She's a strong, independent woman. She, her sexuality, none of that stuff bothers her, and in Amsterdam, there was this club that they went to, the strip club, that they allowed people in the audience to come up and touch them and all this other nonsense. You can't really do that in the States. If you go to a strip club, you're not supposed to be grinding and feeling anyone's crotch, boobs, balls, nipples, any of it, right? So I guess in Amsterdam, they are a little bit more open. So in that case, Lizzo was encouraging people like, come on, oh, touch him, oh, come on, girl, it's fun. I can see her dancers claim they felt that they had to do this in order to maintain their job. Now, throughout this article, the way it's worded, and even like in other articles, all this stuff they're accusing, everything in it, from what I'm reading, it's in their mind, is what they thought. She never said it, it's what they thought. So again, the dancers claim they felt they had to do this in order to maintain their jobs. So there's that one. And then another claim against Lizzo, her alleged badgering of women over alleged poor performance and accusations on drinking on the job. Now let's stop for 1 second, right? The alleged badgering. I don't know if the badgering happened or if Lizzo came busting through the door and was cursing everyone out. There's a way to talk to your employees, staff, all of that. Of course, absolutely. So if they're bothered on how she went about it, I can get that. But see, what we're not gonna do is you're gonna be on my tour and you have poor performances. How dare you think I shouldn't say something? Like if you're the one offbeat, looking lazy, yeah, the artist should say something to you. Like, this is their reputation. Like, let me ask you a question, right? Do you think if Miss Queen Bee, who's been on her Renaissance tour, if she looked back on YouTube or whatever and saw the clips that are circulating and notices that her dancers look lazy as fuck, do you really think Queen Bee ain't gonna say shit? Absolutely she will. And then drinking on the job. What boss, whether you have a 9 to 5, 10 to 9, whatever, what boss of yours, listen, even if you had a pimp, he would be mad if you're drinking on the job, sloppy, throwing up. You can't be drinking and working, right? Like with a pimp, you can't be drinking and then feeling nauseous and then throwing up on your clients because you're drunk and you smell. Like, absolutely not. Like, you can't be a dancer and then have these wild nights and then come to rehearsals tired, not energetic, you're missing steps. So again, there are ways to talk to your employees, and they're alleging she badgered them, which is not cool, not at all. But if she had to talk to people about poor performance and accusations of drinking on the job, well, she's entitled to do that. Which they led to her constantly threatening them and their position on the squad. Absolutely. If you're, once again, if you're sloppy and always drunk, she's giving you more than one chance. And of course, like any other job, they'll say if you're late again, you know you're fired. Or if you come to work drunk again, you're fired. That's with any employment whatsoever. But if you're coming down on people and calling them, there's a way to talk to people, period. And so, then the dancers even claim Lizzo made them re-audition for their spot in a multi-hour rehearsal. That sounds brutal. Now, that's not brutal at all. Let me explain something to you. And I keep using Beyonce because I just know so much about her. But her dance captain, her name was Ashley. Ashley was the girl always dancing next to Beyonce that had the red hair. Ashley is in the Single Ladies video. Like, she's everywhere, and she has been touring with all of her tours except for the Renaissance, which is a whole different conversation in itself. But disorder she had and exploited that when she felt the dancer wasn't up to snuff, allegedly forcing her to talk about it. I think there was another story that I read that one of the dancers saying that the dancer put on more weight, and Lizzo wanted to know why and put her on blast. And that's not the first time we saw that. If you remember back when Tyra Banks had America's Next Top Model, right? There was this one black girl. I don't remember her name, but I always remember she loved bread. And even the models around her used to tell her, you need to, watch the carbs, watch the bread, because you can put on weight. And she didn't listen. And then at one point, she was putting on weight. And the production, had to find bigger clothes and this and that. See, that's the thing too. Like, if you're putting on weight during a concert, right? Now all the clothes people had for you, now we have to remake. Like, when you're on tour, there's supposed to be like strict rules and things you have to follow. I don't know, but of course, like, if you had an eating disorder, that's not something you want to put out there. Of course, that might be a touchy topic, but I don't know if that was the one that had an eating disorder. I don't know, but I also read that some of these girls were getting badgered, like I said, for gaining weight, which is weird because some of the girls are thinner or a little bit smaller than Lizzo, and some might be a tad bit bigger, or but the thing about it is no one's teeny tiny. So it's just weird to me that if Lizzo is doing this, that's fucked up, because she's not exactly a size 2 herself, and she has like this body positivity and energy that she's always bringing out to people, awareness, and behind the scenes you're doing this. So it really broke my heart that this is true. There is also big accusations with her dance captain themselves, right? Now with the dance captain, they're saying that Lizzo's dance captain was, talking, like, she was a very sexual being, in my words, and I guess she had a lot of conversations that made people uncomfortable in regards to people who had, who was waiting to have sex for marriage. She would like badger them. She would force people to talk about their sexual fantasies and what they would do and their husbands and stuff like that. And a lot of the girls felt uncomfortable with the 3 girls, because a lot of them had like this religious belief or whatever, which I totally understand. But again, like, if you have these strong sexual beliefs, like, even during the auditions, there was nothing about that dance captain to me that would suggest that she was conservative. Like, I don't seem to understand this. Like, everyone needs to watch that show in order for you to understand where I'm coming from. Like, these 2 people that are in this lawsuit, Lizzo and the dance captain, watch the show. They didn't give, like, their mouth, nothing showed any type of. So what made you think shit was gonna change once you guys hit no, within these 4 years you can't work for anybody else. I'm pretty sure that has to be in the contract, because I have seen, again, Beyonce on tour, they're dancers, but then they have interviews. They're on Good Day America, they're on like the Wendy Williams show, like they do other things in between touring, so you need your dancers for that. There's award shows and other things. So could you imagine like being Lizzo's dancers and having other gigs and you're on tour when she has like an award show coming up? So I can agree with that, but if that's the case, I think Lizzo should have had it in the contract so people understood what they were signing in regards to, if you work for me for 3 years, you can't work for other gigs. But then in the same sense, people need to get paid for their, that's why I'm playing both sides here, because I just hope it's not true. But again, if these girls felt anyway and they're getting sexually harassed and this and that, then do what you gotta do. But I just feel from what let's just look, because I don't want thinking people think I'm being biased. So let's all get sued. Okay, let's just bring up another article just for. Alright, so let's do I'm on people.com. Alright, this one says 3 of Lizzo's former dancers are suing the singer for sexual and racial harassment, as well as alleging creating a hostile work environment. Alright, I already read the lawsuit. I already read the names of the people. We can skip that. Alright, the dancers are alleging that they were pressured by Lizzo. They were pressured by Lizzo into touching new performers while at a club in Amsterdam and was forced to endure weight shaming. It just, okay. The dancer claimed in their complaint that at a club in Amsterdam where attendees can interact with the new performers, Lizzo began inviting cast members to take turns touching the new performers, catching dildos launched from their performers' vaginas, and eating bananas protruding from the performers' vaginas. Now, like I said, if you were uncomfortable, you could have left. It says she was inviting cast members. You could have said no. You could have sat down. All I'm saying is that would make me uncomfortable. I think I was watching All the Queen's Men, actually, that's on BET last week, and there was an episode that there were like 4 females on stage or whatever, and then they were like being tossed in the air, and I don't, that's not me. I would be 100% uncomfortable, so I can totally understand people being uncomfortable with this, but again, we're grown. Just say no, and if you said no and then she fired you, then that's grounds for a lawsuit. But it seems as if everyone they did it anyway. And then the 35-year-old singer then it also goes on to say that she allegedly began pressuring one of the dancers to touch the breast of one of the new performers, despite the dancer expressing her desire not to touch the performers. You walk away. According to the suit, that same night, Lizzo allegedly pressured the security guard to get on the club's stage until he submitted to her demands. I think I did read this, that she also said one of her bodyguards or the security guards do the same thing. Again, I don't know how wild this night is, but I feel as if a lot of us have had that wild night, that people are out of control, drinking, just completely having fun. And truth be told, like, I don't know Lizzo, and I just hope that she was just trying to have some fun and not threatening people, you know, that she was gonna fire them if they didn't touch the dancers, or, you know, forcing her security guards. When he got on stage, his pants were pulled down, exposing his buttocks. Lizzo then began yelling, take it off, while a club performer hit the security guard with whips, it stated. Then the suit also accuses the dance captain of pro-sexualizing everyone around her, shaming those who engaged in premarital sex, and oversharing her masturbation habits and sex life with her husband. So again, this was just a conversation. Yeah, it might not be work appropriate, but again, just off of that reality show, and I'm not saying it right, but just off that reality show, I so see this. I so see this. It looked like just a bunch of girls around having fun. And also too, I do want to mention too that weight gain, if she is fat shaming people for gaining weight, then we actually need to focus the blame on Lizzo. Why I say that? Because one thing I noticed during her auditions for, like, you know, the dance competitions or her dancers, there was so much food. And it wasn't like healthy food. There was so much food for these girls to eat that even like with 10 hours of rehearsal, they weren't gonna work off all the shit they were eating when they got back to their room. Like, there was so much food. It was ridiculous. Like, all I wanted to see was a grape or something. Like, I was dying to see some fruit. Like, dying. Lizzo, who is known for embracing body positivity, was also accused of weight shaming. Lizzo and Miss Scott questioned whether Miss Davis was struggling with something, as she seemed less committed to her role on the dance cast. Lizzo wanted an explanation why she seemed less bubbly, and so again, if Lizzo was coming to her and asking her why she's less bubbly, this and that, and why she's putting on weight and getting lazy, because it says here she wanted to know why she was less bubbly, and well, it says in a professional dance, a dancer's weight gain is often seen as a dancer getting lazy or worse off as a performer. But that's actually true, though. I mean, there has to be standards when you're on. I don't know, all of this should have been in like, if Lizzo wanted her dancers not to gain weight or was supposed to eat a certain way, all of this should have been in their contract. I mean, if this is how she wants to run things, you know what I mean? And then it continues that Lizzo questioned commitment to her tour with Lee, concerned about Miss Davis' weight gain, which Lizzo had briefly called attention to after noticing it on the South by South Music Festival. So that's what I was saying before. Like, if an artist is going back and looking at their performances and seeing that, wait a minute, that looks sloppy, and why does she look like she's busting out of her uniform? also says while Lizzo and the dance captain, I guess, never explicitly said those exact words that Davis felt. So again, back to, I feel as if these girls thought some of this stuff, like, damn, does she think I'm a lazy fat fuck? But did Lizzo actually say that? So for me, this lawsuit is going to be, it's going to be a hard one. But again, rumors always start from something. And I'm not saying that these girls are lying. I'm just saying that I think sometimes things might be blown a little bit more out of proportion, or people feel a certain way, but nothing was said. But Lizzo, I'm telling you, like this. This is sad. This is sad. This is sad. If this is true, it's to the point that you have Queen B, aka Beyonce, on her tour, baby. Last night, there's a song, Break My Soul, and you know, there's a part that she's doing like a Vogue, and she names like powerful women in the industry. Baby, she took Lizzo's name out of that shit as of last night, because it is so, like, if this is true, it is one of those, you put on this facade, and behind closed doors, you're a monster. I hope it's not true, because it took Lizzo so long to get the fame she got into a couple years ago. And it's just a shame, a shame, a shame, a shame. It actually breaks my heart. Like, what is happening with the black community? Between Carly Russell, now we having Lizzo fat shaming people, allegedly making people feel bad, allegedly sexually harassment, allegedly. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Let me get out of here, because I'm just sad, Lizzo. God, I hope that's not true, and if it is true, I hope everybody gets justice. God,